guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Mariana, or Phantom, whatever you want to call me. This is a new setting, as you can see, and today we are going to be reading Reddit stories. I am very excited for this because I watch a lot of people on YouTube who do this type of content, and I've been wanting to do this type of content for a long time now, and my setup is kind of shitty, but you know, it'll get better over time. My mic is sitting on a old phone adapter for a car. My ring light is shitty and old, and my computer is shitty and old, but this is the only setup I can figure out right now. But I am very excited for this video. Like I said before, we are going to be reading Reddit stories. Any type of Reddit stories I can find that sound interesting to me. Some might be, am I the asshole? Others might be scary stories. Am I the devil? Am I overreacting? Or whatever else I can find. This might become a new series on my channel, which I really want it to become, because I really enjoy this content. The first story that we're going to start with is Am I the Asshole story from 40 minutes ago. This story was posted 40 fucking minutes ago, so yeah. Also, these videos are going to be very chaotic, just like my last video, so. Like I said before, this story comes from Am I the Asshole, and it was posted 40 minutes ago. Let's see what's going on here. Am I the asshole for fighting with my husband over leftover pizza? I, female 31, and my husband, male 31, have been married and living together for 4 years. Last night we had a fight, and he called me selfish and said I overreacted. The argument started because the night before, after he got home from work and was doing some extra work on his computer, he's a mechanic engineer, I asked him to put away the leftover pizza from our dinner. He told me he was busy and that I should do it myself because I wasn't doing anything important. Okay. I got angry. He did put away the pizza, though he complained about it later. I apologized for how I reacted. When we talked about it again today, he told me I was unresponsible and should have understood that he was working and that I interrupted him for no good reason. We ended up fighting again. I'm sorry, I cannot read. Here's the thing, I also work full-time as a software developer. God damn, these people know a lot about computers. Anyways, let's move on. I feel like I do most of the housework for us. Every day I do all the dishes, cook and prepare meals, and sweep the house. I also do the laundry on weekends. He does contribute. He mows the grass once or twice a month, waters the plants daily, and clean up after our dogs once or twice a week. So, you do all the house shit, and he does the outside shit? That, like, I guess that's reasonable, but it also doesn't sound like it's fair? Because he only does that shit like once a week or twice a month. That night, I had worked all day after he got home and started working again. By choice, he wasn't doing extra hours. I cleaned the floors, did the dishes, and made the pizza from scratch.
What?
And yet, he couldn't take 5 minutes to put the food away. I didn't even ask him to clean the dishes. I know I wasn't busy at that exact moment, but it was my free time. I had worked all day and I wanted to rest. I don't think it was selfish to ask him for help just because he chose to spend his free time working. That's not selfish at all. That's asking your partner and the person that you live with to help around the house. And you made the pizza by scratch. What is this man thinking? I don't fucking know. This is actually pissing me off. We make almost the same salary and contribute equally to our finances. I know our division of housework, chores, is something I agree to. It's genuinely fair, but I still feel like in that moment he should have just helped and put the food away because I did all the other chores by myself. Am I the asshole? Let's talk about this for a second before I give an answer. So you went to work all day as a fucking software developer. At work all day, probably fucking 9 to 5, whatever. came home, cleaned the house, and then made a pizza from scratch. And then after dinner, while he was working again by choice, and you were just sitting on the couch trying to relax because you're fucking tired, clearly, you asked him to put the food away, which he was either in the living room next to you, or maybe sitting at the counter, or whatever. Anyways, he was still able to get up and put the food away. It wasn't that big of a deal. And him bitching about it is kind of shitty. It's not kind of shitty, it's really shitty. So, no, I don't think you're the asshole at all. Honestly, I don't. Let's read some of the comments. My answer is, no, you're not the asshole. He's the asshole. He could have just did it without any problems or complaining. There was no reason to complain in the first place. That's just my opinion. Let's read this comment right here. Not the asshole. Nobody is too busy to put away the leftovers of a scratch pizza that was made for them to enjoy. Good grief. Okay. So everybody is basically saying no. Oh, there's an edit in the comments. Let's read this edit real quick. Info. After he got home from work and was doing some extra work on his computer, he's a mechanic engineer, we already know that. You've said it. But thank you for putting... The mic fell. I asked him to put away the leftover pizza from our dinner. Okay, where were these 4 things located at the time and related to each other? What does that matter? It doesn't matter, but let's read them anyways. You, your husband at his computer, the pizza, the refrigerator. I cleaned the floors by hand, you guys. Software developer and mechanical engineer, and don't you have a Roomba? Huh? A division of household chores is something I agree to, and it's genuinely fair. Then why are you framing this like it's an equal? Okay, these are clearly answers to comments. By hand, you guys. Does it matter? Does it actually matter how she cleaned the floors? Yeah, she has a Roomba, but like still, doesn't matter. Yeah, that's a vacuum, but like you still gotta mop the floors. That just doesn't make any sense. This info is stupid and it's not making any sense. Yeah, this fucking husband is an asshole. So let's move on. We've established that. Moving on, he's an asshole. Now, this next story comes from roommate problems. Now, me and my girlfriend have had a lot of fucking roommate problems in the past, but let's talk about it right now. This is from a day ago. Can I ask roommates not to charge me for stuff they buy? We've had a roommate like this. Okay, let's get into it. Hi, so my roommates and me usually buy stuff for the common spaces that everyone uses, like spices, onions, garlic, toilet paper, and more. Divide the cost equally. There's also some stuff that I don't use. They do though. And they divided it equally, maybe because they also have no way of knowing I don't use it. For example, I don't use olive oil and it's pretty expensive. So every time they buy it, I still get charged $2 to $3. If it was a small thing, I don't mind, but it's pretty expensive for the fact that I don't use it at all. We're all pretty chill, and I don't want to seem uptight or cheap if I bring it up that I want to be excluded from it. Should I still address it? Thanks. Yes, address it, because that is fucking stupid. For one, why? Like, I understand, like, some groceries, but, like, if you're roommates, like, if you're, like, random, like, if you're, like, college roommates, and you guys don't really know each other, you should be buying your own groceries. Not be using other people's groceries. Not be dividing the groceries between y'all. Because we've also had that problem. Charging people for shit they didn't buy is fucking crazy. We've also had that problem. No, I don't think you're the asshole for addressing it at all. I think you should address it Because you shouldn't be fucking getting charged at all for stuff you didn't fucking buy. I don't give a shit. It's for the common areas or the whole house or whatever. I don't give a shit. I don't care. No. We've had our ex-roommates buy a 60-pack of fucking toilet paper for like $30 from Target. And she wanted $30 from everybody. What? She wanted $30 from everybody. For one, we had toilet paper in our bathroom, and we didn't need it, and we weren't gonna use it, so we didn't fucking give her $30. The other two people did, because they're stupid, but, we did not, because that's fucking ridiculous. $30 for fucking toilet paper? Are you insane? You clearly are. Like, what the fuck? No, I don't think you're wrong for addressing it. I don't think you're an asshole for addressing it. I think you should address it immediately before it keeps happening. Because that's actually fucking crazy, and that actually pisses me off, because me and my girlfriend have had that happen before. Let's read one comment. Yep, just let them know you don't use those things, so you will not be paying for those things. No big deal. Exactly, no big deal. You don't use it, so why the fuck are you paying for it? Like, no. I think that's crazy. I hate people like that. These are so interesting, I love these. This is a lot, but I'm ready to read it. This next story also comes from Roommate Problems, posted a day ago. A lot of people are having roommate problems. This one shows a picture of a note, which I will be reading. Me and my girlfriend have had past roommates, leave us notes before they left. Let's get into this, okay? My note to, so the poster wrote a note. Okay. Itchy, sorry. My note to insane roommate about the dishwasher. We've had problems with roommates with dishes. If you care to know, for context, I've lived here since August, and she's lived here for a year longer. This is a shared apartment with private bed and bath, but shared kitchen and laundry. I didn't know her before I moved in and see her about once a month in passing. Let me read that again, because that sounds... You guys live together. Okay, let me read that one more time. If you care to know, for context, I've lived here since August, and she's lived here for a year longer. This is a shared apartment with private bed and bath, but shared kitchen and laundry. I didn't know her before I moved in and see her about once a month in passing. That's actually kind of sounds crazy to me, because how do you live together and not see each other? In passing? Like, are you just, like, in your room constantly? Or, like, gone? Like, you don't... Like, you live there, but you don't live there? Like, you just pay for it, but you're gone? Like, okay, that doesn't make any sense to me, but let's read the next thing. The first few months we lived together, we get along fine, and I've made her steak dinners a few different times, although she was also standoffish and would bring the plate to her room, where she spends all of her time. A few months into moving in, she started accusing me of touching her things and breaking a random jar in the kitchen with absolutely no base or explanation for these two accusations. This was our other roommate's jar, who's since moved out. Okay, so there was 3 people living here at one point. So it only makes sense to me that she broke the damn jar and was trying to save her ass, as this was all said in our 3-way group chat. That's just weird. Okay, so you've made her steak dinner before, and she takes it to her room because she spends most of her time in her room. Okay. There was another person involved at some point. A jar got broken, I guess, and she accused her of it? Like, you're an adult. Why don't you just say, hey, I accidentally broke this jar. It fell out of the cupboard when I was grabbing a cup. Like, it's that easy. Group chats with roommates are horrible. Fucking hate it. Immediately, the dynamic changed, and she became extremely passive-aggressive were the only thing that changed the false accusations I had received. Keep in mind I only see her about once a month, so I was getting texts about her chair being moved in an inch after I swept and mopped all the communal floors, laundry being left in the dryer when I was at work once. Move it to my basket. No, of course not. She went out of her fucking way to put it on the floor in front of my door. And the thing is now, the second issue I've had with her taking my dishes out of the dishwasher. Last time she walked them to the second floor, which must have taken at least 2 trips, and dumped them outside my door. She pulled out the racks, clearly showing that she wanted my 3 dishes and the empty dishwasher emptied. I left a note saying that I will run and empty the dishwasher when it's full enough to run, as I always do. Then I come home to them on the counter, dirty above the dishwasher. She's at work and I'm doing my dishes, but Jesus, I just needed to rant. I'm really convinced she's just mentally ill. I don't understand how anyone can justify this behavior. We've had problems with dishes and roommates, and laundry and roommates. So there's a letter here, which I have not read. Let's read that real quick. Fubo, I've avoided wanting the dishwasher when less than 1 to 2 plates are filling the dishwasher, as it wastes water, which directly affects rent increases to upset you. I'm sorry, I cannot read this person's handwriting, but she basically left her note about the dishes. This person sounds like an asshole. Like, blaming her for breaking a jar like she's a child is crazy, first of all. Second of all, deliberately taking her dishes out of the dishwasher when there's only 3 dishes in the dishwasher and they're not done yet, all the way upstairs to her room and putting them in front of the door on the ground, and then also doing that with the laundry is really weird. Let's see if there's any comments. Okay, most of these comments are really stupid. You are wasting more water than her. I don't know how, but sure. Yeah, this person that you're living with is really weird, honestly. Me and my girlfriend have had these exact problems before. Not exact, but we've had people not doing the dishes properly or leaving them in the sink for weeks on end. People taking our clothes out of the dryer and putting them on top of a dirty dryer. So, I get where you're coming from, and this person living with is really weird. And y'all only seeing each other once a month in passing is also kind of weird and a little concerning. Because, how much time do y'all spend in y'all's rooms? Let's go to the next one. So, this next one, I love these stories. I'm gonna keep reading roommate problems because they're annoying, but they're funny and interesting. And me and my girlfriend have had a lot of roommate problems in the past, so they're also really relatable. This one clearly comes from roommate problems, posted 5 days ago. Let's get into it. I need help with this roommate/grocery situation. Okay. Long story short, I have to cook all of the meals for my roommates and me. They don't have a job or any source of income, so their parents pitch in for groceries. We usually split the cost with their parents contributing around $60, and I match that amount. That money covers meals for both of us, while I buy my own snacks and personal food items. Huh? What? You're buying all of the fucking groceries and her parents or their parents are. Why are you cooking for them? They're an adult. And if their parents are buying the groceries, they should know that their child is an adult and shouldn't be having your roommate cook for you. Recently, their parents told me they can only contribute $20 to $30 a month, which is half of what they were providing before. I don't think that will be enough to cover a whole month's worth of groceries, but I'm not sure how to address the issue. My roommate is unable to cook due to some disability, though I'm not entirely sure what they are, and I don't mind cooking for both of us. However, I do have an issue with being the one to pay for most of the groceries and do all the cooking. I work full time, pay rent, and also take care of a pet. So this is a lot for me to manage on my own. Since we're in our early 20s and still figuring out things, I need help finding an alternative way to continue our current setup without carrying most of the financial burden. Okay, so your roommate has a disability, but you don't really know what it is, which is a little concerning because if you're living with them, shouldn't you know if you need to call 911 or do something, you should know what they have so you can help them if needed. I feel like that's pretty standard. This is confusing, man. Like, it's bullshit. Like, I understand she might not be able to work, and she has a disability, but you don't know what it is. I understand, like, you don't have a problem with, like, cooking for her or, like, contributing to, like, household chores or groceries or anything like that. But it is a lot for one person to do all of that, especially when they have a roommate. I don't know. That is a lot. It's a lot. It's a little confusing. This comment says your roommate needs a caregiver, not a roommate. I agree. Honestly, if she can't work, if she can't attribute to groceries, or she can't make her own money for groceries and household items like that, and I don't know how rent is going, I do agree with this comment. Your roommate needs a caregiver, not a roommate. I totally agree with that, honestly. You guys might get along, but you are young, you might also be in college, and this is a lot, and you work full time, pay rent, and also take care of a pet. You might want to think about moving into a different unit with a different roommate, or move on and not have a roommate at all. It's a little kind of like, it's kind of iffy because he has a disability, but we also don't know what it is. So it's kind of up in the air, but that is a lot for one person, I will say. I'm gonna read one more, and then we're gonna end this video. Sadly, only 3 stories for today, but my phone's at 10%, and I can't plug it in when the mic is plugged in. So we're gonna read one more. I'm gonna make it good, and then we're gonna end the video. Okay, so this next one and our last one comes from Roommate Problems, of course, posted 1 month ago. Let's get into it. Please help me prove a point to my roommate. It is incredibly hot upstairs, and so I turn the fan function on the AC. I don't put the AC on, just the fan. He claims the fan is jacking up the bill, but when I lived with my parents, they'd put the fan function on all the time, and we were poor. My boyfriend, who lives with us, has a similar experience and says, does he think we're stupid? A quick Google search proves our point as well. I cannot sleep in the heat, because even with the box fan, I'm sweating. My boyfriend agrees, and we are both heat sensitive. A roommate is not, and refuses to add layers. When we were going through flares up, both me and my boyfriend are disabled and on meds that make us even more heat sensitive. Oof. Does anyone know what to do? I bought a couple more fans, but I'm not sure how well that's going to work. Can someone explain in terms my roommate understands that the fan isn't doing much to the bill, and having the heat at almost 70 in the middle of America, where it gets hot as hell, probably is? What? I'm sorry, that last part kinda doesn't make any sense, but we'll move on. Edit. try to compromise by having the heat off, and he said no, I guess. Edit 2, he threw a big baby fit and put it down to 62. We only asked him to put it down to 67 so he can freeze. I guess me and my boyfriend will be fine. I'm sorry, but this is so stupid. This is incredibly stupid. Not on your part, but on the roommate's part. You guys have disabilities and it makes you more heat sensitive, and you guys are on meds that increases that, which I totally understand that. I take meds myself, and I was born with a disability myself, but the roommate is just being a child. Especially since he threw a big baby fit about it. It's just fucking crazy. This is really weird to me, especially since both of you have disabilities and are on meds that increase your heat levels, which I totally understand. I am on meds, and I have taken meds that have done this to me, and I have a disability. Your roommate is being very inconsiderate to you and your boyfriend's disability. And also, I don't want to say he grew up privileged, but it sounds like he did, because having the heat on constantly is a little weird. Like, me and my girlfriend turned off our apartment heat probably about in January. We turned it off in January and haven't put it back on. Like, he has the heat at 70 constantly unless you guys turn the AC on. And it's not even the AC. I know what she's talking about. It's the fan. It's just like a part of the AC, but a lot of people think it's the AC and it's not. This is a little concerning and weird to me. It just kind of seems like your roommate is a big baby because he threw a big baby fit, clearly. And he grew up a little privileged, it sounds like. And he still kind of seems privileged because he threw a baby fit about that AC being on. When he knows he lives with two people who have disabilities that affect them in this type of way, where their body heat in the room that they're in affects them a lot, especially when the meds increase it. It's a little concerning that he doesn't care, and it seems like he doesn't care, and he threw a giant baby fit about it. It's very concerning, honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. What a last one, because that's honestly a little confusing, and it just seems like your roommate is a dickhead and is very insensitive, honestly. Alright, so that was the last story for this video. Some of these people, like these roommates, are fucking assholes. I hate roommates. I fucking hate it. Oh my god. Roommates in general are just fucking assholes unless you've known them for years. But even then, things get iffy and y'all kind of fucking clash and it just doesn't work anymore. I honestly love these stories and I do want to do more. So please stick around for part 2 coming very, very soon. Hopefully, cross your fingers. I am very excited for that. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you got to chill and sit back and grab a snack and a blanket and a drink and listen to me rant and bitch about shitty roommates and read Reddit stories. I hope you enjoy this video, and please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and share with whoever you want. I will be bringing a part 2 very, very soon. Just be on the lookout for that. Please turn on post notifications and join the crazy ride that I'm gonna go on with these stories and other content that I will be making very, very soon. I hope you enjoy this video, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.